Here's something interesting you might be curious about, because I was. This is a picture that was all in newspapers and magazines back in the late 50s of Jimmy Stewart on the left and his wife on the right, arriving back from a visit to Tibet and India. And he landed a United States airfield either in California or New Jersey that was shared by the Army Air Force and the civilian craft. Both used these particular airports. And it was rumored that he came back from his visitation with the Grand Lama in Lhasa, Tibet, after visiting with him, talking about world events and things like that. And he came back to the United States with a supposed Yeti hand that was given to him by an unknown source somewhere between Tibet and India when he departed. And they asked him to put the Yeti hand into his luggage, as they would be able to bypass customs because they're celebrated movie stars. And as such, he landed in the United States with it, and where it went, I don't know. But what was interesting to me at this airport was in the background, you can see 4 objects directly above them, behind them, that should be in pretty good focus. But the thing is, these 4 objects are basically look more like spheres than airplanes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the fact is, the more I looked at it and the more I examined it, I thought this was highly unusual. So altogether, this really puzzled me, because normally planes, you'd see some kind of tail or wings or biplane or airplane, but all white and silvery, almost looking spheroid. And as a close-up, I went closer on it and you can see it again. And as I zoom in on it, you can see that they really do kind of look like spheres, and they're awfully close to each other, even for flying in formation. Normally planes wouldn't fly one right behind the other. They'd be spaced out, like one over here, and one back here, kind of like a triangle. But as such, these 4 objects are definitely something to look at. And if you find this photo, which is available just a lot of places, you can see that this thing definitely is up in the sky right above this hangar. That's not an airplane wing, I don't believe. I believe it's a hangar. But there's Jimmy Stewart, famous actor from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Great American. That, as far as the rumor of the Yeti hand, there's no verification of this. So, as such, we have to leave it at that. A mystery, a rumor, and whoever got the Yeti hand, don't know what happened to it. The idea was that he would be able to give it to someone who could prove the existence of Yeti or the Bigfoot of Tibet to the American public. But nothing was mentioned about it later on, and as far as I know, it's just an unsubstantiated rumor. But those 4 objects, they are just fascinating. I mean, fascinating. I'll try to get as close as I can. As you can see, it's just doesn't really look like planes at all. They look like 4 in formation spheres. Now, it could be the grain of the film, but even at that range, because of the fact that you could see the hangar right there, and they're really close, you should definitely be able to make them out as an airplane, especially for the late 50s. And if they were jets, well, they sure wouldn't be flying right behind each other like that. Not even biplanes would really want to do it that close. Although they could do it. If you've seen enough old movies, you can see how these biplanes can really get around and wing together. But normally, you're not flying end to end like this. As a wind current could come up and take out one and take out all of you. So it's pretty dangerous to do that kind of formation. So these things I want to thank Jimmy Stewart and the press, because this picture appeared in all the papers, newspapers, and magazines of the era. And I just happened to stumble across it somewhere and grabbed a snapshot of it and then enlarged it a little bit to see what I could get out of it. And it was just amazing. Thank you, Jimmy Stewart, for the putting more mysteries into our lives, and thank you for going to Tibet and India. And thank you, public, for listening and watching. This is Strange Biped.